company towns are back on the menu, and I'm saying again, because I think last time we were talking about Amazon or something, and now it's SpaceX, because of course it is. They both have to compete with each other on everything.
But this company town is on Mars?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Texas.
Carry on. Yes, okay.
Just about as big.
Well, that's kind of another planet in some ways.
Yeah.
Because of the size.
Cameron County in Texas had a vote to incorporate a new town for SpaceX employees. The vote was overwhelmingly approved, with 283 votes for and only 6 against. The city is about 1.5 square miles and has just under 500 people who live there, 300 adults and 120 children. Bobby Pedan, vice president at SpaceX, was elected mayor. He ran unopposed. Several bills are also working its way through Texas State, which will give the city the ability to close highways and beaches during rocket launches or other company activity. Wow.
Cool.
From both a company and employee perspective, can you list pros and cons of a company town? If you knew all employees were on board, would you think it's worth the effort to establish an LMG town?
God. How does this keep being a conversation? If I knew everyone was on board, would I think it's worth the effort? No, I would not think we don't operate at that kind of scale.
That is Linus' speech for yes.
That is not.
If he was fully convinced that every single person was on board and that he could buy more real estate in BC.
Would we have our own brand of cheese?
Linus cheese.
Okay.
It would melt the best on burgers.
Who is responsible for that getting posted publicly? That was for internal consumption only.
Wait, what was?
You don't know about this?
No.
Okay, so you remember in the WAN Show Teams group chat.
Which he doesn't read.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. Luke doesn't read it.
Yes, I saw the picture of your cheese.
Okay. So
yes, I do read it.
In the WAN
I just
group
don't
chat,
read it necessarily when you post like right before WAN Show and change the whole plan.
On the weekend, I posted a picture of my grill with a bunch of patties on it that I had just put cheese slices on. And then I was like, melt cheese on a burger challenge begun, or something like that, because of the conversation we had on WAN Show recently, where I evidently do not understand how cheese melts and am not capable of melting cheese on a burger. Then I posted shortly afterward all the cheese melted deliciously on top of the patties.
He had to prove that he's the best at melting cheese on burgers.
No, I did. Oh, my God. Oh, I swear. Your contribution and your contribution is a huge part of why I was not able to get my point across in that whole thing. So I posted a bunch of patties with non-American cheese melted on them, just normal Kirkland cheddar, and then I posted like a "You're a Wizard, Harry" gif. Okay, it was intended for internal consumption. It was a joke. And then Sammy got hold of it somehow. And
he's in that chat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why is he in that chat?
The WAN chat?
Yeah, why would he be in the WAN chat?
Because he tracks when it's going to go live. It's like a notable part of his job.
Oh.
Also, like, as far as I can tell, like a third of the company is in that chat at this point.
Anyway.
Yeah, there's so many people that need to be informed about when the time that WAN is starting. It's less critical now than it used to be, but...
Anyway.
I'm just going to call you.
So now it's front page on the LTT subreddit. I was not trying to poke this bear.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you? I don't believe you.
I requested, can I post this? You didn't respond, but someone else posted it. I'm not a narc, though.
Wait, look who it's posted by.
That's from the chat.
That's not me.
Huh?
That's from the chat.
No, look, no. The Reddit.
Wait, Chewy posted this?
Yeah.
He
I want an apology right now.
I'm sorry, Chewy.
What? Wait on me! I hate it here.
I'm sorry that Sammy's bad influence. I'm sorry Sammy's bad influence turned you into such a bad egg. Because
I thought that Sammy had posted it and it got picked up on the subreddit. I didn't know Chewy just like.
Oh my God.
Don't.
Okay, all right, Chewy, whatever your name is. Sammy, you're off the hook.
Whatever your name is.
Is he gone?
This is just the episode where all the employees lose their mind.
Did he actually leave?
Yeah,
think so.
he screamed and then slammed the door.
I mean, it is 6:30.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh my God, Chewy, really? You were you were supposed to be the chosen one. Anyway,
I think it was good.
the burgers were delicious, and not American cheese definitely melts on a burger patty, which is all I ever said. Seriously. Dude, have you seen some of the comments on this?
No.
It's crazy.
I find it so hard to care
Dude.
about your comments on cheese. And I don't even mean because like I don't care what you have to say. It's just like, man, it's the same argument made the other day of like when people were uproared about the placebo thing. It's like, why are you here? Why are you here for that? Why are you here for medical stuff? Why are you here for
man.
cheese opinions? Like, really? Wow, you need other things to do.
Dude, it's
My goodness.
it's been wild the way people care about it. Anyway, so if you like American cheese, tell you what, eat American cheese.
Nice. Congrats.
Um,
Enjoy it.
okay, what were we talking
Genuinely.
about? Company towns. Oh Lord. No, I no, it would not be worth the effort to establish an LMG town. Like, A, we're not at nearly the scale where it would make any sense for the number of people that would need to live in it. And B, like our operations do not in any way require a company town, which could only have downsides compared to just living in an urban center that has like amenities and stuff.
But what if you could shut down all of the streets to roll around in your fire truck, your customized fire truck, with the lights uncovered because you just make the laws?
No.
There are upsides.
I'm sure there are upsides. And it's not like when a ghost town goes up for sale, I don't see that in my news feed and go, But
If the company was big enough and if every single person was on board,
every single person wouldn't be on board. People have
But they
lives.
might.
They have families.
But
Their
they
kids need
might.
to go to school.
and
Like,
what if the schools were better? And what
Why
if their
would they be
housing was
better?
more affordable?
Why would it be more
Because
affordable?
of course it would be.
Why?
Because trust me, bro.
No, my God. So yeah, I guess if you're asking what the downsides are of a company town, that's exactly it. Is the deal is better only until the company that owns the town decides it like shouldn't be better. And like, man, is that ever a lot of eggs to have in one basket? Like, I remember probably the wisest thing that the owner of NCIX ever said to me was on the day that I quit. And he like kind of tried to negotiate and keep me on board. And I went, no, I've decided to move on. And he kind of went, okay. And I kind of went, oh, well, that like, you know, your demeanor, your tact here changed really suddenly. He goes, well, look, I mean, nobody works at one company forever. So like, let's figure, now that we're at that point now, let's figure it out. And I
What are
was
the
like,
next steps?
yeah. And I was like, that is experience. That's wisdom right there. And that is why it wouldn't have been good for me to live in the NCIX town, because now
But maybe your life would have been so much better.
instead of just my livelihood, like
That you
instead of
would have
just
wanted to stay there.
my paycheck, no longer being at the company now all of a sudden impacts where I live. It impacts where my children live, potentially. Dude, I mean, and I guess technically you could live in that company town if you don't work there. Maybe. I mean, the children clearly don't work there. I mean, I don't know. With what they're trying to do with labor laws.
Then they're not allowed to leave.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what?
if you don't work there, you
That's
can't.
a good way to
you-
make sure that the funding for the necessities of life
Yeah.
stay in the town.
And the specifically regimented education system doesn't get, like,
You can have an
modulated.
airport where they fly up in the air and then like go around and they like look at Vancouver or look at some other destination and then just come back.
This is where all the heathens live.
Yeah. You just look at them from up above.
You spit on them from
Yeah.
the float plane.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Why are you looking?
This is hilarious. This is apparently Gordon Ramsay struggling to melt cheese. and someone saying it's okay to admit defeat about the cheese.